How's it going? In the last video, we looked at some list comprehension. We're going to continue using list comprehension, and we're going to add higher order functions. In this case, we'll start with map. So I want to try to keep this short and informative. So let's go ahead and take a look at our first question. And here's our question. Suppose you're at a restaurant with friends and you get a bill. You look at the total. You want to add tax and split it equally. How are you going to do that? Our inputs are going to be the amount and number of people paying the bill, and we know what our tax is. And here's a possible solution. We have a very simple, short, straightforward function. No problem there. Well, let's assume that you don't have one bill to split, but a whole list of bills. So here's where we can write a higher order function that takes a list and a function as an argument. And it could look something like this. The function bill splitter will be passed to split all. The list will be unpacked and applied to the function. If this is our list, here's calling it, and that would be our list of results. Okay, so just one possible example of using a higher order function. Harshad numbers. Now, what's a Harshad number? Here's our problem description. Write a Python function to find a given number. This is a Harshad number. Harshad number is any number where the number itself is divisible by the sum of the digits. So we take all the digits, add them up, and if it's a factor of the number, it's a Harshad number. Otherwise, it's not. Now, I never heard of the Harshad number before doing these interview questions. So I don't know, maybe you have. Anyways, let's look at a possible solution. Okay, look at this. These two lines of code right here. If you're not exactly clear how these two lines of code work, you really need to open up an interpreter and type in some expressions until you understand. Here, the modulus is going to return the remainder portion. That'll be the last digit if we mod by 10. And we're going to add and sum it up here. This right here is going to return the whole number. So if our number is 271, this is going to return 1. This is going to return 27. And then the next time 2, and then the next time 0. And we're using that as a loop control. Okay. The rest of the function, pretty straightforward. More modulus arithmetic. And then we do some conditional logic tests and print our result. Okay. There again, if we only had 1, that's fine. Or if we wanted to generate a loop of numbers, then we could do that quickly. But what if we had a list? What if we already had a list? Here's where we could use a high-level function to process all of them, and it could look something like this. This time we're going to use the map function, the built-in function map. Map returns an iterable object, and we cast it as a list and print. Okay, so when we run this, we're getting a list of statements here, right? And it's probably not what we would want. A list of Harshad numbers would be more useful. This is the way the interview question was specified, and I included it as an example of a possible way of using map. So what's next? Armstrong numbers. There again, before doing these questions, that's another one I had not heard of, an Armstrong number. And an Armstrong number, for a 3-digit number, is a number where the sum of the cube of each digit is a factor, or is equal to the original number in the print. So we cube them, sum them, and if they're equal to the number, it's Armstrong. Otherwise, it's not. Here again, we're working with the list, and here's our possible candidate solution. And see here again, we're using the same loop control, and we're using the modulus arithmetic. So what's next? So it's your turn. Write a high-level function that takes is Armstrong, this function right here, or any function really, as an argument, and use the built-in map function or its comprehension, and see how many numbers, Armstrong numbers, you can generate. So I hope that was useful for you. If you found anything informative, give the video a thumbs up, and next one we're going to look at the filter function. More high order functions, more nested list comprehension, and that's it. See you in the next one.